Hi, welcome to a new episode of Sportsy. Let's talk sports tech. Today we have with us Marco Savino, CEO and founder of Iterpro. Marco, a sports scientist and an entrepreneur with a great passion for technology and applied data analysis in sports. Iterpro, a company that combines sports science and software engineering to provide cutting-edge football intelligence platform which supports professional football clubs decision making from the pitch to the board in order to help them achieve a competitive edge. Iterpro Football Intelligence is a revolutionary football team management platform that connects people, integrates data from every football club's department, turns into actionable insight, and supports professional clubs and federations in making better decisions faster. Today's episode is in association with Global Sports Innovation Center powered by Microsoft, and Iterpro is a GSIC member. So please welcome Marco talking about football intelligence using Iterpro. Hi, Marco. It's great to have you on Sportsy. Let's talk sports tech.
Thank you, Sid. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's so much nice to talk to innovative sports technology companies, specifically in football, and with somebody who's who's a founder of the company, but at the same time having a background of being a strength and conditioning fitness coach to the national football teams in Latvia, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah, there was Latvia, exactly.
Yeah, excellent. So I think it's a been there, done that. You rose from the grassroots to start your own company to give a solution which is actually a football intelligence solution that you call about. So my first question, just for our viewers and listeners, is going to be about what is Iterpro and what got you going with this concept and what kind of problem that you're trying to solve.
Yeah, that's a very good question. Actually, it's a question that I really like to answer because it describes also the problem that I'm trying to solve at the end of the day. But let me start with a quick background so you can understand even better where everything started from. Because I've been, as you get, I guess you know, like most of the clubs and the sports team at this stage, they're using like GPS tracking system.
Right.
And when I started working in football was like 13 years ago. And I had the chance to be one of the first account manager for those GPS companies. So I had the chance to be there for a few top teams, because at that time it was not a commodity. The GPS system was something completely new. And then I moved to the coaching staff. So I was part of the club with part of the coaching staff. I was managing mainly the fitness part and the sports science in general. But it was a role that really helped me to connect the dots, because I wasn't just doing the fitness, the work of fitness coach, but I was doing on the pitch job, training the guys, and off the pitch analysis. So I was doing all the, I was kind of the technology manager regarding the performance of the player, and I was trying to integrating on my beautiful Excel spreadsheet, all the technologies, the third-party technology, all the feedback from different departments. So I was talking with the doctor, with the head of performance, with the sporting director, with the head coach. And the real struggle, the real challenge at that time, but I believe it's still now, it's something very, very recent as a problem, is that basically I was struggling to communicate my feedback, so to have an impact on the training. Because if you think about that, the football clubs, it's a very wide organization, even in terms of professionalities and the background of the people. So you have the head coach that probably is a former football player. Then you have the head of medical, which has a deep know-how in the medicine issues, match analyst, physiotherapy, scout, fitness coach, and up to the sporting director and the CEO. Everyone has a different background. When it comes to report very complex information integrated from different data sources, you always struggle because the people you're talking with, they don't have enough background to understand exactly what you're talking about, and they always try to ask, okay, how the player feel, what we should do for tomorrow. two simple questions, for example, this is just for the head coach, like two simple questions is difficult to answer, especially if you don't have that background. You can analyze the data. And you can apply the same concept, waterfall, to every single position in a football club. So it's like if every department is working waterproof vertically in his own issue, but not really working together. And as a former athlete, I was a former professional kayaker. So we had to paddle together with my teammates in the same boat. We always say that if you don't paddle in the same direction at the same timing, the boat keeps spinning or is not really going forward. And the same works for an organization. So one of the goals was to find a way to improve the workflow and information sharing among the entire organization, and being more impactful, especially for all the technology that we have available at the moment. They are great, they bring great value, but we have to make a sense of it. So I decided to create this one-stop shop place, which is Iterpro platform, that is basically a data management system that integrates all the data from different departments in order to take decision faster and hopefully even better. just to give you an idea for the people that are listening to us, that they are not really confident in this kind of technology. What we do is the Football Manager, the video game, but in the reality. So in the real life, that's what we do.
Okay. And while you're doing this, is there any aspect of gamification is there? Because see, when I think about you talking about the wearable technologies that you actually started your career with, they are GPS-based wearable technologies. Then they are intrusive. Then there are video-based technologies, which are non-intrusive, but need a lot of AI or machine learning. So how do you actually get everything together and giving the right decision support system for the coaches?
Yeah, that's another very good question, because it's where we focus mainly. Most of our time is not about adding features, because we get, like, I don't know, probably 10 to 15 requests of new features from every day from every club that we have. That's not an issue. The issue is to keep the structure and the solution simple in order to give this information, because we always say that we don't want to work on data, even if it can sound a little bit blasphemy, because data are very important, especially for us that we work in the tech space. And the thing is that we don't want to work on data because we want to work on information. It's just like one step ahead, and the line is very thin between the two, of course. But data, if you think about it, it needs to be integrated, analyzed, display, and then explain. Instead, if you can jump, the middle step, and you can go straight to the information. So with a simple traffic light threshold, or color-coded smart feedback and stuff like that, you really simplify the life of everyone. Because the doctor doesn't need to know all the tactics, and the coach doesn't need to know all the medicine issues. So the most important thing is to get the final answer and turn them into action. That's I believe is the main point here.
Right. And what all decision support system that you provide? So is it going to be around where to play, what kind of players to buy, or what kind of probably the new technology to be used towards, say, kits or anything? So what all decision support system that Iterpro supports the whole federation or a team?
Yeah, we basically try to provide them a 360-degree solution regarding the player management and the club management in general. We don't cover any part regarding the marketing and the commercial side of the club, but there was like a proper strategy. The system boards with this idea, because the other assumption I had when I started this journey with the company was that if you see, I don't know, the Deloitte Money League report, for example, which is one of the most famous, it tells us that the wage to revenue ratio in the first 5 top leagues in Europe is between 60 and 80%. And if you fall out of these leagues, it's even higher, because people, they have less developed in marketing and commercial department. And after the pandemic, this is even less, because they kind of had a contraction in all the commercial side. So basically, let's say that 80%, probably sometimes 90% of the money, that the revenue of the club, they're spent in salaries and fees to buy player and to pay the player. So I say, okay, the main financial asset for a football club is the player. So let's try to cover everything regarding training, game, medicine, scouting, talent development, plus, and this is what really differentiates us from everyone else, is that we think at the beginning how to connect the two parts, the sports part with the board and the headquarters, where the highest level decisions are taken. So I decided to digitize all the contract, and we're able to track automatically every single option and clause on the contract of the player. And this give to the user also the chance to create a cash flow forecast, financial forecast at the highest level in the club. So we really cover everything. Think about having, I don't know, your phone and working around. A director that is working around, with us can consult his mobile app and check everything about this player in this team, wherever he is and whenever he wants. That's what we cover.
Interesting. So before I actually ask you about sharing one of the case studies of live case studies with one of your clients, I would like to understand that you are a GSIC Global Sports Innovation Center member, and this podcast is in association with GSIC. I've been their ambassador for India region, and it's great to have that kind of ecosystem around you. But what do you think that a place like GSIC adds to your plans, and how do you see more and more startups getting benefits from the ecosystem of GSIC?
Yeah, I really like it. I followed GSIC like for a few months now, and I had the chance to jump into the network just probably 3 months ago. It was in December.
Okay.
And I can see already the benefit because of the networking and all the opportunity that the organization always try to push through their network in terms of event. But let's say that the networking is one of the most important things, especially in our business, because it's a B2B, very niche market, and being able to reach not just the client, that's what we do every day, but even like the technology partner, and to build something together and to create new solution, that's very exciting. And I believe this is the best thing for the organization.
Excellent. And GSIC has a setup in Madrid. Now they're setting up in Singapore to grow in the South Asia market as well. So I think it is good. But at the same time, as a startup, what is the support that you need more from the accelerator world or the startup world, or the places like GSIC, which actually can take you fast track you to the next level, other than network? You mentioned about networking, but other than that, what kind of things that you really feel that startups can get benefit for fast tracking?
Yeah, so let's say that we can differentiate. We've been participating to accelerator program at the beginning of the journey, and at that time, since I was still a young entrepreneur, I mean, I'm still younger, hopefully, but before I was younger, and I had more energy, probably a different kind of energy than now. But at that time, I didn't know where to start. I really started from scratch. Iterpro doesn't born from an idea of an investor or something like that, but it born from an idea of 2 people working in football, and then we slowly built our team. And that's, I believe, is the real fast track for this kind of program. Like trying to put all the pieces of the puzzle together, being connected with the provider. How do I develop something? Okay, this is the tech startup that can help you to develop this piece, or how I can start the commercial side. Okay, this is the guy that already has that kind of network. So putting all the pieces of the puzzle together for entrepreneurship, some sort of entrepreneurship package, that's, I believe, is the real value for this kind of program. Then we left after this accelerator program. We started to go independently, because now we know how to do things and we know what we need for our specific case. And in this stage, I definitely find more valuable organization like GSIC, because they keep doing that job, but not specifically accelerating the program, but like helping you to making to every startup is network available, and that's where we can really make a difference.
Interesting. I think that's very well said, and I think that's what the whole ecosystem brings to the table. So Marco, I just want to understand from you about you have so many amazing logos on your website that you have mentioned, and but just want to know which is one of the best thing that gave you the biggest joy. And every customer is special, but which was the engagement which gave you the biggest joy, because you solved something really useful for them, and the validation that you got really gave you the boost for the next journey?
Yeah. So in this case, I think since we cover both clubs, top clubs, regular clubs from first division, sub-elite clubs, and also federation and leagues, I think that all of them they have different goal and different needs, and this depends on mainly two variables. The first one is, of course, the level of resource they have available in terms even of people. And the second one is also, let's say that this is connected also at which level they're playing, for example, if we talk about one of our clients, which is AC Milan, and is even one of the let's say best joy I had in my career in this journey with Iterpro, because we started with them with a very small deal to cover a very small partner. We covered the entire, basically the entire organization from the first team and up to the under 7 female. So it's like more than 22 teams that we manage there. In that case, they didn't need to create a structure, because they already have a structure, and they wanted to put all the pieces together on Iterpro. So that was our function. If you go instead in a club like it could be Torino, Bologna, or Verona, or even an organization like Malta, for example, which is where we cover the entire federation, or in that case, they need to build a structure. So they use Iterpro to create this digital ecosystem that is tailor-made on their specific needs. And just to give you like a practical example, sometimes we see that the client take inspiration from the software to start creating their process, the workflow process. And that's one of the biggest things for Iterpro. I believe it is something that really satisfies me and makes me happy when I see that they can start building the way to do things, just looking at the digital solution and not the upside, not upside down. So this is, I believe, is the most, the biggest joy that the company is giving me at this stage.
Interesting. And obviously, if you have a client like AC Milan, it's a different pride altogether. And somebody like them trusting, I think that gives a different boost to the whole journey. So so just one more question is about as an entrepreneur, you had the subject matter expertise, but you had to find a co-founder or somebody who will convert your knowledge into technology. So how did you go about finding that team which actually supported you in the journey and keep supporting you and growing with you?
Yeah, that's another very good question, is where we struggle the most at the beginning, especially because, as I say, I don't come from the tech space. I come from the pitch, and I didn't have any personally. Of course, there's a different kind of entrepreneur as well, a different kind of journey. But my personal journey was very. I mean, it was teaching me. I learned a lot. I learned a lot from this, because I was trying to do everything with a very small budget and try to convince people to join me in this journey. At the end, it was a good choice. So I know that not everyone succeed, but in this case, we made it until now. So now we're ready for the next step. And when I was looking for a co-founder, I was looking for someone which was technical. And at that time, I joined a program in a university in Italy, in Politecnico, thanks to in Milan was, and thanks to this lab, which is called Next Lab, is and a very cutting-edge lab. I mean, they take all the best students and they do really rocket science, there with artificial intelligence, all very young students of 2022. And at that time, I found my current partner that now is the CTO of Iterpro. And after that, it's been a journey that we made together, trying to convince, developer to jump on board for even lower salary expectation, because at the beginning the resources were very limited, and from there, it's been mainly, let's say, word of mouth, because once we build credibility and some references, like, closing AC Milan, I have to say that there's a lot of people that are excited to work in this industry, and this is helping me a lot, because it's very appealing, being in contact with someone working at that level, in football especially. And also because it's quite chill at the same time. So some of us is kind of realizing his dream, and that's nice, because we don't need to go work because someone tell us, but it's what we like to do.
Nice, excellent. That's what the team is all about, right? They come together and enjoy have the same vision, and go in the same direction. One last question on the little technical side of it. It's like you have partnered with Catapult, Stats, and all the variables, everybody. So do you have a integration platform kind of APIs which are open for anybody and everybody to integrate, so that it's a seamless integration, so the team doesn't have to worry about I am using this provider and that provider, and Iterpro is one place which takes care of all the integration and provides a solution. So is that something that you have?
Yeah, it's a similar one. Let's say that we are in the process of building something that completely automatic, but at the moment we are kind of navigating client by client, and then building the solution that is needed for the specific client. Let's say that, I don't know, I work with one club and they have StatSports or Catapult. I go to StatSport and then I ask for the API. If they have another system, it can be, I don't know, any other wearable devices or video tracking solution, Octa, Instat, Y-Scout, all of them. And we keep building over time. So after like this 3-year journey, 3.5-year journey, now we have a portfolio of APIs, which are very, very valuable. And now that we're growing and we're scaling up the business, this is gonna, it's gonna speed up a lot, and we are trying to build that system that you just described. But a good thing that I have to say, it's worth to highlight, is that we have also an open API, so we don't just receive the data, but we're open to give the data, any kind of data regarding the player and the club. So this is very, very important, because if you think about, if you want to create some vertical services, and still is needed in the club, because we can't do everything really. We try to cover everything, but at the end of the day, there's always something that even for 1% is better than us. So I say, okay, it's perfect. Use Iterpro as a structure, as an ecosystem, and then you pull out the data from there, and you want to create some specific dashboard on Power BI or Tableau or any other system, you can do that. If you want to use Python for your artificial intelligence hidden research within the club, you can do that. If you want to sell the data to the sponsor of the league, you can do that. So that's another exciting part, having this double connection, integrating the data and exporting the data.
Excellent, Marco. And that gives us so much of information about how the you are making football intelligent, and how the decision support system of Iterpro is actually helping so many clubs. And wish you all the best for amazing growth in front of
Thank you.
And looking forward to talk to you soon on different topic, when you actually have a solution which is even bigger than where you are right now. So I think it will be looking forward to that journey as well.
I hope it's going to be soon. So let's take another appointment.
Yes,
Thank you.
Let's take the appointment soon and let's talk about it.
Thank you, Sid. Thanks a lot. It's been a real pleasure.
Yeah. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, and thank you for sharing. But please do subscribe to our channel, Sportsy Says, and help us spread the word about Sportsy. We go with the same handle, Sportsy Says, across all the social media platforms and podcasts. Don't forget to press the bell icon.